we have a full complement. Yes, me, Alden, Celia, Cindy, and Jeff. So we have 5 people.
Yeah, and Sean should be joining us hopefully shortly. He said about 7:40. So, okay. But you can start because you've got your quorum.
Okay, so let's see. Do we have alternates, or we have everybody as full members? Just so we know who's.
I think Celia's an alternate, so she can sit in for Sean on this one.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so it's 7:33. It is Monday, 12 April. This is the meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. And so we are ready to begin. Though I have a question, Chris, and I'm not sure what the answer is, and maybe you do.
Okay.
For the Red Barn, that sounds as though it's more zoning than Zoning Board of Appeals, because it's really changing the zoning code. So I was thinking, no?
You've done this before. The last application you guys did was when the Library Place went in, and you made a determination that that fit in what was there.
Okay.
This otherwise it would be spot zoning, so it's a non-conforming use that's in there, and so they're just asking for a retail, an office use instead of retail.
Okay.
So when we get there, that's what they're asking for.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So why don't we hear Jonathan and Sarah Davis for 546 Amity Road. Jonathan, if you wouldn't mind, can you present the application to us?
Sure. Hank, where would you like me to start? Just with the presentation material or the application itself?
Well, just to make it complete, let's start with the application, and then once we have that read in, then we can go and listen to your presentation.
Okay, so you'd like me to read basically what we're asking for?
Yes, just so it's in the record.
Okay, sure. So this is Jonathan Davis of 546 Amity Road, Woodbridge, Connecticut. I'm joined by my wife, Sarah Davis. We're looking for a variance of 4.1 table of general bulk regulations required front setback, where a 75-foot setback is required from the front property boundary, which for us it's Amity Road. A 55.2 foot setback for variance of a 19.8 for construction of a detached garage addition. That's the crux of what we're asking for. It's section 4.1 of the zoning ordinance that we're non-conforming to. The required setback is 75. The actual setback is 55.2. We're looking for a 19.8 variance.
Okay.
Okay.
So if give us the layout in terms of what you put in the application in terms of hardship in the land.
So if we were to try to do this to make the same square footage or area garage, we would have to relocate the septic system that is to the south of bay 1 of the existing garage, and that would be rather expensive, we believe, to do such a thing. And if we were to move it to the only other place on our property that would be on the surface of being logical would be on the other side of the driveway, but we believe that to be shale, and we put a ledge, and that would require blasting and a number of other costly construction methodologies to make room for the 3-car garage there. So the logical place for us would be to move it, the hardship would be those two things, the cost of doing it as options to what we've laid out in the proposal.
Okay, thank you. Is there any neighbors, or are there any neighbors who are in favor or are opposed to this? Chris, do you know of any neighbors who have made either?
I have not received any comment, no.
Okay. All right. Just so for the rest of the board, I went out just to look at this application and looked at the actual property. It had a kind of an interesting twist in that the property line is against Amity Road. However, the Amity Road that it's against is the old Amity Road. The new Amity Road is another, how far would you say, Jonathan, 50 or 100 feet?
About 100 feet, yeah.
All right. And so the old Amity Road is the boundary, which is what they're dealing with. And the state owns that. However, the new Amity Road, which has been there for any number of years, is another 100 feet on top of the existing property line. So it makes it a unique situation in that the state's never going to build anything. The state has abandoned that part of Amity Road, yet not given it to Woodbridge nor to our property owners. Okay, any members of the board have any questions about this at all?
Well,
I do actually.
Oh.
Yes, I visited it as well, right before we got our vaccines, right?
You were
That
very
was me,
great.
by the way.
How you doing?
That's why, I'm feeling it a couple hours, to be honest. Yes. How about yourself?
No, nothing, not at all. Not
Really?
like it never even happened. Yeah. I'm lucky.
When did you
Yeah.
get the shot?
Yeah,
When?
I got mine
I
at
got mine
noon
at
yesterday.
1:15.
She got hers, I think, at around 2:00. Yeah.
Yep, 1:15, yeah. So, I do have a question, because to the right of your, existing garage barn, which is very lovely, actually, you cannot, you said the septic is right there, but is that where the gravel is and you had a car there?
Yeah, that's the blue car is there, and that's what it's right in where that blue car was. The cap for that septic system is just forward of the hood of that car. I don't drive the car all the way up to it because I don't want to put any pressure on that cap. But there's a concrete cap right there in front of that car.
Right. Okay, so if you just go to the back of the building and come out, it'd end up on the septic, is that what we're saying?
Well, on where you see the blue car, where you saw the blue
Right.
car, just in front of its hood, its front hood. If you look straight down, that's about where that cap would be. And then the leaching field is in front of that, heading southeast from the garage.
So behind the garage?
Yes.
Leaching field is behind the garage, the cap is in the gravel.
The cap is in the gravel where you saw.
The cap is in the gravel.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I was just curious about that because there was a car there and I was like.
No, the car's
on top of
actually-
that.
No, actually the wheels of that car are behind that cap. They're before that you hit the cap.
Okay,
I was cautioned on not putting things of weight on that cap by the fellows who come and clean it.
yes. And then, like you had mentioned, Hank, is the old Amity Road. situation since it's owned by the state. That's a very good point, which I was gonna mention as well.
Yeah, you're always good for those kind of details, so we depend on you for that, Cindy.
Yes,
So that leads to the question that I had, which is, when was the old part of Amity Road abandoned, and relative particularly to various zoning regulations? Does anyone have knowledge of sort of the history of that?
I'm not sure if you have more details. I'm curious just because of the history of Woodbridge. It looks like that was abandoned prior to the division and the sell-off of the subsequent properties, of which one of is our lot. It's in the documentation that's available on the town website, but it appears that the likelihood is that that was probably a addition around the 30s, where they must have moved to expand Amity Road. So from the documentation I've looked at, it appears that that's been abandoned since 1930s.
really, I could have sworn I remember it.
Yeah, Sarah did that based on her, just to let you know, she likes to look at ancestry and stuff like that. And we actually found some folks' names that we know from work on property deeds.
Yeah. I was looking at the division of our property
Yeah.
in the history that's available online.
So that's how she came
The
up.
documentation happens to go back that far.
But the real answer to that question would be it's all in the public record. It's on those historical
It shows
title
that land
transfers.
in the title transfers of the property.
And you can see who
Yeah.
built the highway and stuff like that.
I wonder if it was the same time they did the expansion of the corner of 67 into Amity Road. I don't know, for those of you who've lived here a long, long time. So they came through 67, remember that? They opened it up, and I'm wondering, because I thought, I don't know, but I didn't realize it was like back in the 30s. That's interesting. I thought it was like in the 60s or
Double check that.
60s or
Yeah.
70s.
You
Yeah,
guys should double check that, and we're not sure of that. We have to go back.
That is what I recall from
That's what we
personal
recall.
exploration, but I don't have it documented in front
We
of me.
did write it down.
So if someone wants a clear answer, if we go to the town website and go to the assessor's GIS mapping.
Yes.
Associated with this property is the Connecticut State Highway Department right-of-way map, which was done in 1930, which shows the old Macadam Road and then where they straightened it where it currently goes. So it was done in 1930.
You got it right. Yay.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
answer.
you.
There's a-
wow,
In
they
1930.
did it back then.
Yeah.
Huh. Wonder what they
So
used.
If anybody's ever interested, the tax assessor has coordinated with each of the parcels in town, any maps that are on file in the town clerk's office. And so for those properties along Amity Road, more often than not, they include the old highway maps. So we find that in this one, and it was map number 39F for your records.
Okay,
Thank you.
Little bit of history.
that's fun. Makes it interesting. All right, any other Alden, does that answer your question?
Yeah, that answers my question.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Okay, so,
Jeff says no questions from him.
oh, good. All right, so we will close this one. Jonathan and Sarah, you can certainly stay on until, we usually vote at the end,
Mhm.
so you're certainly welcome to stay. But there won't be any further discussion except, among the board members.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
you're welcome. So let's move on to the next one, which is the Red Barn. And I guess Frank Dastilio is here.
Yes, and also, where'd he go? John Ward.
Okay, so who is speaking for that application?
I suppose I can, but Frank and I didn't actually coordinate on that. So,
Well, would you like to take a few minutes and coordinate now? And
John, go ahead.
we need less than a few minutes. That's Frank Pastilio, my business partner. My name is John Warwick, and thank you for having us tonight. Do you want me to read the application?
Yeah, please do, just so we have it as part of the record.
Absolutely. So we are applying for a change of variance to allow an office use in a residence A zone under table 3.1. This has structure. This property has been in existence in its current state for many, many decades. It was originally used, as far as we know, historically used as the retail gift shop called the Red Barn for many decades. It served the community. After the Red Barn gift shop left, moved elsewhere, it was most recently used as an eyelash, nail, and beauty salon for a number of years. The property is about 1.4 acres. It has two structures on it, the main Red Barn, and also 4-car garage, which was later turned into storage.
Okay, and so the basis of your application is?
Well, we're looking to put the offices of our realty firm, Real Living Warwick Distilio, in the building to operate a realty brokerage out of it. We typically have, we're currently located in Woodbridge on the Turnpike at Lucy Street, and we're moving out of there by the end of this month, and we'd like to make our new home at the Red Barn and revitalize it with just basic repairs and take care of it a little better. We have typically had 1 to 2 realtors in the building, the office, at any given time. We operate from 9 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And it's not like the old days 40 years ago where the office was packed to the gills. The internet came along and people started working out, realtors started working out of their homes and their cars and Starbucks. And then the pandemic came along and people started really working at home. So we want a presence in town. We're very much a part of Woodbridge, we feel, and we want to continue that. And but at the same time, we expect a very low impact use with 1 or 2 realtors on site at any given time during business hours.
Okay, and in addition to the realtors, what about customers? Do you expect that to have any impact?
Actually, closings, which used to occur in realty offices, have really migrated to the lawyers' offices, believe it or not, or just online, as similar to this meeting. Closings are happening virtually. So we don't expect lots of clients in the building. Gosh, we would love clients to interact with realtors in the office the way they used to 20 years ago, but it's just not happening that much anymore. On occasion, yes, we will see a client in there.
Okay, so you don't expect much impact in terms of traffic?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anything else? Nothing, all right. Any members of the board have any questions?
I do. So would you be planning on, so you're not changing anything with the structure of the building, you're just keeping it as is? Just what's your plan?
Well, our plan is just to put some desks inside and make it appealing for realtors to work in there. and which means a coffee maker. That may be our biggest upgrade. And we're going to take care of the building. We really would love to give it some TLC by painting, there's some wood rot. We just found out that the garage needs a new roof. It's really taken on a lot of water, so we'll, of course, put a historically accurate new roof on there and take care of the building. But we have no upgrades other than TLC
Cosmetic.
planned.
Perfect. Thank you.
I have a question. It says there was the variance granted in 2017 for that beauty business, and was a variance granted prior to that for when it was actually the Red Barn? That had to have been right.
Prior to the Red Barn, Sean, there was a yarn barn, and originally a long time ago, there were antiques that were sold there, as well as books.
And those businesses have received variances as well, correct?
The early ones, I don't find
not
a
the early
record of
ones,
the
but-
variances on those. But
Okay.
But originally it was a house a long time ago.
Well, yes. Okay. All right. Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.
Okay, any other questions from the board?
So
Okay.
really, Chris,
Yeah,
Okay.
yes,
This is Frank DiStilio speaking.
Yes.
I just wanted to say two things really quick. We do plan, the building needs, the lawn looks terrible, the asphalt looks terrible, the landscaping looks terrible, and we do plan on addressing all of that right away. It's a landmark property. We'd like it to look that way. So it will get cleaned up. It's on a very prominent corner, and I think everyone in town will be happy with the way it looks. Greg Coyne, the current owner, is on the call somewhere, and Greg and I were discussing how many cars would come in and out of the Red Barn when it was the gift shop, because until they sold it to Ellen Eisenberg, it was owned by his parents for probably 25 years, and they would estimate they would get 25 cars a day, 25 to 30, people coming in, buying a card. They'd get delivery trucks, FedEx, UPS, whatever, clocks, whatever they sold in there. We estimate, so that's 20, 30 cars a day plus trucks. We will never have any trucks. And our business has changed so much with all the technology that I would be surprised, or I'd be happy if we had 5 or 6 cars pulling in and out of there a day. So in terms of the impact of the traffic in the neighborhood, it's going down substantially.
good, thank you.
right, and really, this is going from like a retail establishment to an office space.
Right. Chris sent us a copy of the letter from the neighbor who was in favor of the appeal. I didn't hear or see any negative comments. Chris, were there any other comments beside that one?
No, the only comment that we had was the email that I sent out to you all.
Okay.
And that was from Sydney Phillips, MD, who resides at 370 Amity Road.
Okay, good, thank you. Any other questions from members of the board or from our applicants? Okay, so we will close this one. Okay, so let's go back to the first one. Any motions on the first application?
I make a motion to approve the application as presented.
Okay, that was Cindy, yes.
546.
Yeah, right, no.
Amity Road.
Okay, do we have a second? All right, well, I'll second it. Okay, so let us vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Okay.
and we're having Celia vote on this one, and Sean, you
Yes.
can vote on the second one, okay?
Okay,
Okay, so I'm not sure the eyes are working all that well. So Celia, can you hear us?
Yep, I.
Okay, perfect. All right, Cindy was an aye. I'm an aye. Alden,
I,
okay, that sounds like we have enough.
And I just need a declaration of what the hardship was that you found.
Okay, the hardship was the septic system and the shale. Oh, thanks, Jeff. The shale on the other side, so that building there would also be very difficult.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so Jonathan and Sarah, congratulations. Go build,
Thank you very much.
and you're welcome. Okay, let's move on to the second one. Do we have a motion on that?
I will move that we approve it.
Okay, Alden, good, thank you. And do we have a second? Was that, I thought I saw Jeff. Jeff seconded. Okay, great. So we have a second. Vote on the motion to approve. And I guess we'll just do it by roll call. So I'm in favor. Alden's in favor. Cindy,
Yes.
yes. And Jeff said yes. So I think we are also good there.
And Sean,
And Sean, I'm sorry. Thank you.
yes,
Okay, so we have unanimous, both of the appeals have passed the muster. Okay, next event on our
do
schedule.
I have a hardship on that one?
Got me.
Or is it just the diminution of traffic because it's going to an
Oh,
office
that's-
use?
That's excellent. I like that one.
Yeah,
So that will
that's,
be the
that's why we talked about retail to office.
right. Okay, the next is approval of the minutes.
The meeting that wasn't.
The meeting that wasn't, and then the one before that, that was.
That one I put on by mistake. You'd already approved the January minutes, so
Oh,
you just
okay.
need to do the February.
Right.
I make a motion to approve the February minutes.
Thank you, Cindy. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. And we can have a vote.
Aye.
All right, so I think aye. Anyone else?
All right.
Do we have any
Aye.
nays? That would be easier. No nays, so I guess everyone approves. Okay. I guess our business is done. A motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you. And a second.
Second.
Jeff? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I,
Okay. Thank you all. And perhaps we'll get to see each other next month.
Perhaps so. Have a good month, guys. Stay safe.
Take
Good.
care.
Thank you, Chris.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.
All right, bye-bye.